this year? Do you feel like the guys see it as or embrace it as kind of a thing that they could grow from and improve?
I hope so. We try to really just concentrate on us. We gave them off Thursday. We got back at like 4 in the morning. And so Thursday was our day off for the week. And got in on Friday and Saturday and just did individual work. Just trying to concentrate on that. Got a good lift in, did a little bit of conditioning. And Saturday morning was the last practice that we had. And then the rest of the day, Saturday and Sunday, had off. And so, again, we had good attitudes today. Hopefully we're a little bit fresher and a little bit healthier as we head into this final stretch.
You guys spend any extra time on free throw shooting or anything like that, or is that one of those things that you have to do that as a player?
Yeah, we do it all the time. And at times we've shot the ball really, really well from the free throw line. We've been a pretty good free throw shooting team for a good part of the year. But we just had some moments, and it's almost like it becomes contagious. Louisville at home was that way. And certainly Wednesday night's game at Georgia Tech was that way. So it's something we work on all the time. We just missed a lot of them at Georgia Tech.
Is there a temptation as coaches when you have that time to kind of look at what you're doing and maybe tinker, I guess, or for lack of a better word, to change up some things with sets and things like that?
Sometimes there is. I think when you have a veteran team, I think it's maybe a little bit easier to do that. It's something that we did look at and, tried to adjust a few things, maybe concentrate on less stuff, but spend a little bit more time on it. So that's something that we tried to do over the break.
I know you said on the call this morning that it's both kind of encouraging but frustrating to have as many close losses as you have. In the Ken Palm metrics, I believe you guys are the 5th unluckiest team this year by however he figures that out. I mean, do you feel like you are sort of better than your record says and can take that?
No, I don't. I've always felt you are what your record says you are. I mean, that's the reality. I'm not a numbers guy, so I'm not into all of that stuff, the analytical stuff. I don't necessarily understand it. I haven't taken the time to. I don't believe in unlucky. I just think we haven't done the things necessary to be able to finish, whether it's, making free throws, whether it's getting one rebound, whether it's stepping up and making a shot, just whatever it is. I mean, in the last 6 games, I think right at about the final media timeout, it's been at the most a 2-possession game, whether we're winning or we're down, but it's been that. And in each game, we haven't been able to make the necessary plays in order to win the game. And we have to change that. That has nothing to do with luck. We have to change it. If we make a free throw at Wake Forest, maybe we win that game. That's not luck. We missed a free throw, or if we get one rebound, that's not luck. I mean, that's, we have to be better in those situations. If we make, free throws against Georgia Tech, maybe that's different. We played great defense on Markel Johnson. He had a hell of a shot against us, against NC State, that gave them the lead for good. And so you can look at each game and look at some situations where we have to adjust some things. Maybe a call didn't go our way. Whatever it is, we have to be able to make the necessary plays in order to win. And we haven't done that.
Take anything away from that second half you guys played against Clemson? Obviously, that game got pretty out of hand early, but you guys cut a 30-point deficit down to 13 at the end. Do you take anything away from that?
Not really, because I think one of the hardest things for a team is to play with a big lead. And I think, they were, in the second half, I think they were competing against human nature more than us. I mean, we were trying to fight and scrap. And when we did cut it at times, it got a little bit momentum. Then they turned it on a little bit more and got it back to 20, 25, or whatever it was. We kept fighting. But, again, what we do take is that we have to play a lot better. We have to play a whole lot better in order to have a chance. That was probably one of our most disappointing performances that we had all season long. And, they were really struggling coming in. And they had not shot the ball well at all from the 3, prior to our game. and against us, they hit 14 of them. And you know it's their night when they bank one in at the end of the shot clock in the second half when we did have a little bit of momentum. And so we have to be a lot better. Our defense has to be better. Our closeouts, if we get a guy in the very first play of the game, we played a really good defensive possession and we get a trap. And we allowed a guy to step through the trap and he skips it, and Mitchell, who hadn't made anything, hits a three. And, we missed some opportunities early in that game on the offensive end. It just kind of got them going, and so we have to be a lot better.
Slow start was obviously an issue in that game. It's kind of been an issue recently. Is that something where you can kind of diagnose why that's coming up, and kind of how do you address that going forward?
Well, I think, if we go specifically that game, we got some good looks early. We missed, and then they made everything. And that was the slow start for us. I mean, it was 8-2, then it was 8-5. And then we got good looks after that. We just didn't make them, and then they were making everything. And then for a young team, if you're not making shots, that can at times influence your defense, and it negatively impacted our defense in that game. So being a little bit more mature. In the rest of the games, I mean, really for us, it comes down to our inability to score. In each game we have moments. Sometimes it's a lot of moments. Against Georgia Tech, it was the first, I think, 12 minutes of the game. I think right around the 8-minute mark, maybe a little bit more than that, we had 7 points. And again, I thought we got good looks. We got stuff right at the basket. And so again, I think confidence is a little bit part of that right now. We have to be tougher. We have to be mentally tougher. We have to be physically tougher. And we have to be more mature in how to handle those things. Inevitably, in each game, we fight back and we give ourselves a chance. But a really good start and a good start of the second half are really important for us. And so we have to try to be better in those situations.
College basketball news cycle has kind of been devoured the last 5 days about Zion's injury and busting through the shoe. And, of course, that leads to people suggesting rule changes. I mean, do you have a stance on the one-and-done deal or anything like that, or does it change when you see something like that?
I think the guys should be able to go straight from high school. I mean, that's not an NCAA rule. That's an NBA rule. But I think they should have the opportunity. I don't think it's our job as adults, coaches or whomever, administrators, to make a decision of what we think is best for a kid, especially not our kid. I know as my kids get older, no one will make decisions for them except for my wife and I, and them, obviously. But no one will influence what they do. And I don't think that's our mission to do that, to say that this is what's right for this kid. The fact of the matter is, and I don't think it'll be a great number, but there are guys that have the talent that could go straight to the NBA. And if the NBA wants to deal with that, then I think they should. So I don't like the way the rule is now that you have to go. But also at the same time, I think these kids do have opportunities where they can go overseas. They can go to a G League. I don't think it's smart for them to do that necessarily, especially for a guy like Zion or like an R.J. Barrett, because the attention that they get going to Duke, they do get something out of it. It's not total exploitation. They do get something out of it. But I do think they should have the option of, I'd like to see that rule change, which I think it will here in a couple of years.
Have you seen Jarrett maybe step up kind of as a leader throughout this losing streak? Obviously, he's one of the guys who's been playing well, but has he, maybe stepped up as a vocal, emotional leader throughout this stretch?
Well, I don't think it's just during. I mean, Jarrett has tried to be vocal and has led, this season. And so I don't think it's just during this streak when we've not played well and we've lost. But, we need everyone stepping up. We don't need just one guy. We need everyone. We need everyone's voice. We're trying to create a culture here, and we're trying to create standards, and we're trying to create a culture of accountability. That's something that we have no one in our program that understands that because they haven't done it. No player. No player in our program has won. And so if you look at some of these other situations, these other programs, I was watching a little bit Virginia and Virginia Tech the other day, and there was a play late. I think the kid from Virginia, Diakite, had a breakaway dunk, and he missed it. And right away, Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome grabbed him, and they're talking to him, and they're, and so there's a standard there, and that wasn't there. Tony built that there, and so the players hold each other accountable. That's when you have a really good program. That's when you have a really good team. We're trying to build that. We have no one that can do that because we have no one that completely and truly understands that. Even our older guys, their experience last year, and all of our guys that returned this year that are older guys, last year was their only experience in college. And so they haven't had success. They don't understand what success looks like. And winning is difficult. It's very, very difficult. And I don't think everyone completely understands that, especially young people. And so what happens at times is that, we get off to a pretty good start this season, and then we won a couple of games early. And maybe the tendency to think is that, hey, it's going to be easy. And it's not. And we played a very difficult schedule in the conference early, and that knocked us back. And as we started kind of experiencing those losses, I think what's happened is that, especially with our older guys, the natural thing is to start, well, this is, I hope it's not like last year. And if you start thinking that, then you're defeated. And we have to fight against that, and we have to try to teach that. The freshmen have no clue. They don't understand. All of this is new to them. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a culture and build a culture where we can have that accountability. I've always felt you can hear really good teams. You hear them on the court. You watch them. You see how they talk to each other. You see how they huddle. You see how the players take the lead. There's, whether it's one or two guys that are older that have experienced it, and they have that. We are a team and a program that we do not have that. And so we're trying to build that. And, again, I think we're getting better. It's just not equating to wins right now, and hopefully we can make during this last 4-game stretch, but especially on Wednesday, we can take another step forward and make the plays necessary in order to equate to a win.
How much do you feel like what the young players need to learn is, on the court, and how much of it is how to take care of their body, manage sleep, schedules, things like that, and have you seen some progress in those regards with these young guys?
Well, it's everyone. It's not just, look, everyone in our program needs to learn that. It's not just the freshmen. I think, the habits that guys have, that our guys have right now, aren't great habits as far as their investment. And I've talked to them about this. I think they've gotten better, but it's not necessary. It's not the necessary emphasis or them emphasizing and understand. I shouldn't say emphasis. Them understanding the importance of it. And that's what a really good player does. Like, you understand that your body is the most important thing. And look, it's not like they have bad attitudes. It's not like you ask anyone, what do you want to do? You never hear anyone say, well, I want to fail. I want to stink. I don't really want to be good. Everyone wants to be good. But are you really willing to put in what it takes to be good? Are you willing to fall in love with that process? And it's hard. It's harder at this level than it is at a lower level, and it's hard there. I've been, at a good mid-major. It's hard. Winning is difficult. Losing is easy. And what we're trying to do is to create those habits. And so it's not just the young guys. It's everyone in our program has to learn that. It's very difficult to learn that when you go through a season like this program went through last year. Because inevitably what ends up happening is that there are excuses made of why that happened. And everyone, coaches included, you got to look in the mirror and figure out, what can I do to be better? And the person you can never cheat is the person that looks back to you in the mirror. You can never lie to that person. You can lie to other people and maybe get away with it, but you can't lie to that person. And so we have to understand that. We have to understand the investment that has to be made each and every day, and that's why this is difficult. But the guys that want to be here and want to be really good, they'll understand that, and they'll make that type of investment.
What was your message to the guys here for the 4-5+ games, the rest of the season, on how kind of to approach this? Is it kind of just focusing on trying to continue to build the culture and the habits that you want to build here?
Yeah, that's what we've talked. We've tried to talk about all year is just concentrating on each day, trying to get better each day. We talked to them a little bit earlier before practice, just about the 4-game stretch, and let's concentrate on Clemson. Let's take care of this, and let's get better today. Let's concentrate, really concentrate on what we have to do as far as game plan, to be better. We watched a little bit of the last game and showed some good things and some things that were available and some things that we didn't do well. And that's the message, just concentrate, trying to get better each day.